Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Looks like it's working. Okay, I've got the TikTok feed up. Uh-oh. Gotta mute. Bitch. Okay, got the stream manager up. Got TikTok up. I'm checking Steam. Not seeing the stream feed on. Might come up soon. There it is. Okay, I see Steam. Just load it up. I'm gonna load the chat. Awesome. Sorry for the delay there. I just wanted to make sure everyone was working. Yeah, well, the sale kind of means I have to do a little bit more work this week. But I kind of take it upon myself. And, you know, it probably goes over well the year end when they're, like, assessing. Sorry. So earlier I was working on an app to monitor tracking data from multiple different companies simultaneously. So I don't have to like go to all the different sites. But anyway, I digress. Moving on, that's what that was that opened up for just a second there. Do we ever get to submit recommendations? What do you mean? Like map recommendations? Oh, for sure. I mean, we love gathering community feedback. By recommendations, do you mean like suggestions and like, or do you mean like a map you want to see me make? I'm just like want to make sure we're on the same page here. Honestly, I mean, I'm constantly taking notes from like community feedback, and I pass that on to the devs. We have like meetings. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, if I'm putting in extra time and effort and, you know, helping the community, I'm sure it goes over well. Tends to go be oh shoot, did not mean to bump the mic there, sorry. Tends to go over positively. So how's everyone doing today? Honestly, I'm loading up the stream so we could kind of hang out and showcase Dungeon Alchemist and what it's capable of. We're live right now on multiple platforms, including Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Steam. So if any of you have questions related to Dungeon Alchemist, feel free to let me know. Dungeon Alchemist is on sale right now for 20% off, and there is a demo available on Steam as well, so you can try before you buy. This map is something else. So Stratus, what you been up to today? More Blender. Nice. Hey, Will. Oh my gosh, did it like actually become winter today? Or fall, finally? Like, it was actually cold today. Like, a little bit. I woke up like, in the middle of the night, and it was freezing in my house. I was like, what is going on? Some outside stuff. Are you, doing some yard work type things, or like, I don't know, working out outside? Right? Oh my gosh, Will, right? It was like, woo, just like immediately cold though. Holy cow. Will's on Twitter or Twitch says it went from 92 to 68 like someone saw a state trooper. So we are based, I'm in Vegas, so is Will, and it's just funny because it's been so hot this year. I think there was like 7 or 8 days in October that were over 100 degrees, and that has not happened like ever. Not to mention, basically that's happened like 6 times in the last like 80, 90 years in October total. And it basically doubled that and some or something like that. It's crazy. Oh, nice. That's really cool, Stratus. That's dope. That sounds cool. Man, I really want to, like, get some land kind of out, not in the middle of nowhere. At least, you know, where there might be some roads or maybe power. I would deal with, like, internet just doing, like satellite. And I'd probably do, like, a well and water collection and stuff like that. Dakota? Oh man, South Dakota? That is definitely one of the cold Dakotas, isn't it? The Dakotas are just like freezing in general, aren't they, during the winter? I'm more of a western, like US kind of guy. I don't mind a desert, but I also wouldn't mind like the hills just above the desert, you know? Like where there might be some trees and stuff like that. Oof, negative 40? No, thank you. See, that's the opposite end of the spectrum of like, why would anyone live in Vegas when it gets to 120 during the year, but why would anyone live in a negative 30 or negative 40? Oh my goodness. I could not do that. You are something else there, Stratus. You're like another kind of human. That is insane. I commend you. I tip my hat. Because the Huskies love it. Jeez, I didn't know. Like, are you? Do you do like like Huskies? How many Huskies do you have? Do you have like a dog sled type situation? Is that why you have numerous? Just a pair? Gotcha. Well, when you say Huskies, I assume you had like a few. You know. Usually someone has a husky or huskies. I guess a pair makes sense, though. But I mean, you probably could get them to pull you on a small sled. Huskies are... There's 6 on your street, so you basically have a team when you're ready if you need to. Just gather them up. And go Goodwill hunting. Or no, what is it? What is it? Iron Will, not Goodwill hunting. Iron Will. That's cool. Man, there hasn't been a sled dog movie in a good long while. I guess they did Snow Dogs like 10, 20 years ago. So, guess it hasn't been long enough. So, how's everyone's day going? Did you have an interesting one? Stratus told me about his. Will, how about you? Been adjusting to the weather today? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So, I ordered some new boots, like some new shoes. They're boots, but I ordered them over a week ago, and they showed up today. And I am so excited. They fit really well. My whole life, I have never gotten the right width of shoe. Basically, unless I'm wearing like a flip-flop or a house shoe, like something that, you know, is more stretchy, or like a really stretchy tennis shoe, then I really never really fit in the shoe right. And I come to find out I have really wide feet. Really wide feet. So, yeah, I got some boots that fit wide feet, and these things are amazing. Sorry for the TMI there. But I just am like feeling so adult, getting shoes that fit me for once in my life. And oh my gosh, they are comfy and they are nice. Like a little bit of breaking in is going to be required, but overall they're like they fit really well. I'm impressed. In fact, I'm wearing them right now because I'm so happy to have them. They've never been worn outside, so I figure, hey, I can wear them inside. This is a map I found on the workshop. Sorry about that, Stratus. Random. Yeah, we'll change the subject off of boots. Let's see here. This is the Baliard Village updated. I got this on the workshop. It's by Oliveira. It's 65 by 60 tiles. And it's a quaint little, you know, just village wrapped around this kind of river offshoot. It is pretty. Cat fur on my face. Is it very late? For me, it's only 6 p.m., so I guess it's very late for others. Yeah, that makes sense. For others, this is like once-in-a-lifetime stream where they'll never be able to see. Mondu, I'm sorry if it's super late for you. What time is it for you? But this map from above just looks fantastic. 10 p.m.? What time zone is that? Ah, gotcha. That's really cool. Oh, I'm sorry it's so late for you, my friend. Getting close to be dinner time here. Probably that's when I'll wrap up the stream, is when I get hungry. Oh no, why is your internet dying? It's just really bad late at night because it's like peak usage or something? Well, I appreciate you dropping in either way. Mondu. Hey Dyson, how are you? Welcome back. Watching TikTok feed, I just want you all to know if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, feedback, let me know, and I will do my best to answer your questions. In fact, we are live on many different platforms right now. Dyson, how have you been? Awesome. It's good to hear. I was talking with another... Hey, see you later, Mandu. Making tons of maps. Nice. Have you put any up on the workshop? I feel like I've maybe seen some of yours lately. Am I crazy or... Nice. Can't wait to see it. And we are so close to 10,000 maps. 10,000 free maps. That's insane when you think about it. That Dungeon Alchemist not only comes with an amazing tool that, you know, it's a lifetime license and you can make brilliant maps with it, but it also comes with 9,800 maps in a repository you can reference and download. That way you can just quickly download something if you want it, or you can, you know, maybe use it as inspiration or try and learn what they did on their map or how they accomplished it by reverse engineering it. It's really cool that we have this available. This actually pairs well with the asset browser. So you have a repository of maps and a repository of 3D models. 6,200 plus. That's insane. Sorry, I know many of you know this. This is more just kind of blurting it out for those that don't know. Maybe new here. But these assets, many of them dip into themes and like aesthetics that we don't currently have, you know, like sci-fi or cyberpunk or futuristic or, you know, space or anything like that. What's your map that you're working on? Like, what's the theme for it? What's it about? Let's open up another map, shall we? Oh, Barovia Village. Wow. It's impressive. It just like woke up one day and chose chaos. It's a lot of work, but you know what? I'm all for it. That's actually really cool. I'm trying to figure out what to look at. I need to open up my Strahd book and check out the Barovia map. I actually, okay, I'm pretty sure I pulled the map of Barovia out and put it in a map tube I have. Because I wanted to preserve it. I wanted to be able to look at it, but also preserve it. Trying to decide what to open. I don't know what to open. I guess we could open up one of the maps I'm sub to, because there's a few that are pretty neat in here. The walls are fighting you. You know, and it stinks. Unfortunately, we're not quite ready for the next update. It'll likely be Q1 of next year, right? So, like, if you're waiting for the update to solve the problem, it'll be a while. Our next update, I've got actually a couple teasers I can show you from it, though, if you want to see them. There's some new ones that have been shared recently that are kind of cool. So this here is a kind of a alpha look at the ability to remove floors and kind of create like decks for like other levels. So you could have like the classic tavern, whereas the upper levels with the rooms, and then you can peer down to the tavern below, kind of like the saloonish type tavern. It is very cool. Very cool indeed. So I know we got a bunch of Steam people watching right now, and I just want to let you all know, if you have any questions, Steam doesn't have chat up by default. You got to open the chat by clicking show chat just below the video feed, and then you can ask away. I'm monitoring the Steam chat feed, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everything. So if any of y'all have any questions, let me know, and I will do my best to address them. Especially if you're new to what you're seeing here and you're not sure what you're looking at, I would be more than willing to take a moment to guide you through it and answer your questions and make sure you understand it. Let me show you all a couple other teasers that are pretty cool. So this is kind of a sneak peek of ceilings. It's very alpha, you know, it's like a work in progress, so it needs some work. But as you can see in the video, you got this nice kind of wooden ceiling. And here, let me pause it when you kind of look in one spot here. So notice this little ridge. Here, let me turn on my mouse highlighter. This little ridge right here is the typical height of a wall in DA right now. Like, that's the stock wall height. But after the next update, this will not be the case. There will be a riser, like a little bump up, that will accommodate for, windows and objects like pillars, and essentially it'll make the room taller and make it easier to accommodate to a ceiling. It's a much more natural height for a ceiling. And it's really cool to see how it looks right now because people have been wanting this for a while. This will obviously help separate outdoor and indoor ambient lighting, so you can, really only have light leak in through like windows and stuff. I mean, Stratus, there's a bunch of roofs on the workshop that you could use as a removable roof. They would just be like a simple roof on top of a structure. But at the same time, depending on the shape of her structure, it may or may not be easy to accommodate. So Nobody on Steam asks, and that's really their name, so I'm not calling them Nobody. That's really their username. That's interesting and hilarious. I'm thinking of buying this. How good is it? Is it worth it? I'll be honest with you, Nobody. I'm a little bit biased. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. This is actually the official stream. So you've actually wandered in a really good channel to ask questions. I would say it's a really good time to buy because it's on sale. We're not normally this good of a price. It's 20% off. So you can get Dungeon Alchemist at its best possible price. If you're not sure, it's on sale through the 23rd, and we have a demo. You can download the demo and try Dungeon Alchemist for free, see how it runs on your system. It's basically a little slice of the overall pie because it's only one biome, one room type, a very limited set of objects and tools that you can access, but it gives you an idea of how it'll run on your computer. So it's a good idea in that regard. Dungeon Alchemist, though, is an early access product, so I won't mince or try to, sugarcoat anything. That being said, it is very fully functional for an early access product, and very often we get people asking us, why is this not included? Why is this not included? Because it feels so fully featured and has a lot of things that you can do in it. It's easy to use and jump into. You can make maps and rooms and moments, like maps in a snap is what I like to say. But you also can grow into it, and there's lots of tools that allow you to get more and more out of Dungeon Alchemist and build more with it as you grow. This, for instance, is a very hand-built, catered map that is an apocalypse kind of scenario in an abandoned city. This would only be possible if you had a full version of Dungeon Alchemist, because you would need access to the asset importer or 3D models from the workshop, because these aren't stock assets. These were ones acquired through Steam Workshop integration, which if you have a full license of Dungeon Alchemist, you get access to the Steam Workshop asset browser and map browser. There's over 6,200 free 3D models on top of the 6,500 plus stock 3D models that are mostly fantasy aesthetic. These branch into other themes, sci-fi, modern, apocalypse, etc. Then there's also maps, user share maps. So it's a huge bonus to get 9,800 plus maps that you can look at for inspiration, just download and use if you don't have time that week to make one yourself. Or you can look at them and reverse engineer and learn from them. Well, Nobody, I appreciate you checking out the demo, and if you have more questions while you're playing with it, let me know for sure. I'm here to assist and guide. You put a bunch of tokens up in the asset browser. Did you put Stratus in the search info, like in the description? Ooh, look at this guy, my man. Oh my goodness, you are so smart. Perfect. So because you put your username there, I can actually search and find you. Thank you so much. Steam search is the worst, and you just found a cheat code. Thank you for taking my advice. Let's see here. But that looks really cool. Let's get this hobgoblin. Did you put them in a collection by chance yet? Because if you put all your tokens in a collection, then they can all be downloaded at once. So just so you know, anyone technically could make a collection. I could if I wanted to, but I'm just going to show you how, so you know for future reference. So this is what kind of the workshop looks like in Steam, or if you're in your web browser. I'm just doing it through the web browser to keep things simple. When you're in the web browser or Steam, it shows this browse tab when you're under the workshop tab, right? And you can hit browse collections, right? And this shows you all the collections that have been made for Dungeon Alchemist. Collections are just groupings of assets that are, similar in theme, and it saves you time by allowing you to download them all at once instead of one at a time. Anyone can create a collection of any of the public assets and maps on Steam Workshop. So you just hit create collection, and then you give it a title. You can put an image, describe the collection, and you essentially say, is it maps, assets, or both? And then items that work together. So it should show a subscribe all button if you do it this way. Hit save and continue, and then you put all the items in it and then save it. And then Steam will approve it, and then that means anyone can download those tokens all at once. And then if you add more tokens to the workshop, you can put them in that collection later, so it continually grows. Obzi Amos on YouTube, I see you're speaking in, I believe, Spanish or Portuguese, and unfortunately, I don't speak those. I am so sorry. Is there any chance you know English? But if not, I will run this through a translator. Let me see if I can really quick. Let me see. I'm assuming... I love Dungeon Alchemist and use it in my RPG sessions here in Brazil. The players love the dungeons I created in Dungeon Alchemist. Well, thank you so much for the kind words. Jaja, as they say. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I just ran that through there. I'm going to leave the translator up here so I can... continually run their messages through here. Obziamos, so thank you so much. Much appreciated. Portuguese still. Okay, I just put a message in, and I'm going to send it to YouTube. Boom. I don't normally go through and do this, but there we go. Sorry about that. I know that was quite boring just looking at the collection screen. I probably could have just left the map open. But now you do know, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Okay, with that ability, yeah, grouping objects together in collections is a really powerful tool. I wish we had it for maps, to browse map collections in the map browser, but we only have it for assets for now. But you can still make map collections and share them. But for right now, you can only browse them through DA this way. But it's a great way to just kind of group up objects that are similar in theme. That, like here's weapons and statues and slimes and all sorts of different things. A jar of mayo, that's definitely thematic, right? KO'd, how are you? What you been up to? Welcome back. I'm trying to look for something cool. This auction house could be cool. Let's check it out. I have been rad fantabulistic. Thank you for asking. I got my new boots today. They're really nice. Just excited because all my old shoes were falling apart. And I basically don't like getting new shoes until my old ones have been like completely worn to dust. So, hoping these will last me like basically until I die. Hey Ava, how are you? Welcome back. I saw the video you posted earlier. I liked it. I didn't have a chance to comment, but I did like it. David Larson on YouTube says, I finished up my 25-room dungeon. I DM'd the campaign 3 times this weekend. Wow. Your players are lucky that you are putting aside that much time for them this weekend. That's awesome. Or is it the same campaign with 3 different groups? I am doing well, Ava. Thank you for asking. Thank you, thank you. That looks cool. It is a beautiful map. Same campaign 3 different times. Wow. It's dedication, my friend. Let's go. Let's explore it actually with our Hendrik plushie token. We've got the little auction hall here. You know what it really needs is some of those little hand things with the like sign on the top that like has the number so a person can hold it up, right? For the silent auction. And it would be great if they were on some of the seats, like an abstract or a custom object would really be amazing. But this is a beautiful build. Prime for a heist? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, KO'd. You're right. That would be amazing. This is... Can't a mirror? I guess a mirror could work for it. I just kind of have the idea of an object in my mind and I can't, like, shake it. But yeah, I guess a mirror could work. Here, let's check and see. I know exactly which one you're talking about, this little hand mirror. We could just turn this over. So it's like a fancy little paddle. Oh my goodness, thank you for the likes, TikTok. Much appreciated. Y'all are amazing. If you've been liking on the TikTok stream, make sure you take your hand like this, right? It's very important. Follow these instructions. It's critical. Take your hand like this. Pat yourself on the back like that. Also, you could put your knuckles to the screen if you want to simulate we're doing a fist bump. Anyone can do this right now, actually. It's pretty cool. Meta fist bump. Go for it. Ready? Boom. Done. Okay. Resize a shovel. That could work too. This is like a brush. So, yeah, I guess that's a mirror. Either of them could work, really. They kind of look like the little handle pad thing that I'm thinking now. It's a beautiful map, honestly. Oh my gosh, the time they put all those documents in there. Love the details. Even the little patio outside. Oh my goodness, that beautiful hedging. This is a beautiful map. And the outdoor, like, round patio. The half moon patio over here, just chilling out on the coast. This is a beautiful map. Oh, these are the items. Look at this. This is where the sticky fingers would want to be, right? Okay, raise of hands. How many of you got someone in your campaign on your table, a player that if you were at a place like this, they could not resist themselves. They could not help it. They have to try and steal something. Either that or they'll immediately start planning to steal something. So Dyson Rules says, always KO'd. Oh, 100%. David Larson, I would. Ava Lore raised hands. Honestly, like, it's such a recurring thing. They're like hired to defend the loot, and they're like, no, I'm gonna steal it instead. Nerds. Oh, really? That's what we refer to as a hobbit trap? Why is that, Greg? Because you have a hobbit burglar in your employ? Excuse me. Oh man, I left my water somewhere. One moment. That was awesome. Mrs. Mac brought me my water. Okay. Wow, TikTok. I turn my head. I come back. 1.3K likes. We already have 1,000 more than we did before. Thank you so much. Honestly, it really does help a lot to keep us kind of visual on TikTok when we're getting the likes. So, as it's an algorithmic-based stream service instead of a viewership-based stream service. Mrs. Mac, yeah. You know what, KO'd? I'm not even gonna dignify that with an answer. Mods are asleep. Post tank pictures. Oh my goodness. Tanks are awesome if we're talking about, you know, like mobile artillery and the like. So when I was younger, my my stepdad, he was a gun commander on a howitzer, which is a mobile artillery unit, and those things are amazingly cool. And I got to ride and train on one when I was younger, like as like a fun thing. It was pretty dope. Walker Bulldog is the prettiest tank. Oh my goodness. I've been getting a lot of tank videos in my feed lately of like real tanks at like museums or tank battles that are reenacted in like CG, or like they're showing people playing World of Tanks, one or the other. So I'm all for it. We did a mission almost like it where they planned 2 hours how to infiltrate the city bank, and they did it. Nice, nice. Like GTA style. That's so cool. Did they actually get out unscathed and unnoticed is the real question. Where is that based? What country is that based in, David? I'm assuming somewhere across the pond. Europe. This map is something else. I really like the little dining area. UK? Nice, nice. Y'all got the best museums because you got the most history, right? I don't know. There's some really cool, like, tank museums, at least, in Europe, because, you know, that's where most of the tanks exist. KO'd, have you been working on any maps lately? Ooh, so they bribed the guard? Not bad. Not bad, Ava. That is really cool. That is dope, actually. Here, let's see if we can find a bank. Let's look. I'm going to search for banks. City district with large temple. Dwarven Bank. City Vault Bank. Bank. A lot of banks. So, I mean, if I needed a bank really quick, I could just go download one and be done with it. Quite a few here, actually. So, that is so cool. What were they stealing? Was it just general loot, or was there a specific item on the menu they were after? Give me all the deets, Ava. You can't leave me hanging like that. Okay, let's take a look at one of these bank vaults. I am thinking... Let's look at this one. It looks pretty fancy. You know, that's the thing, is you just gotta, like, whoop, pick. You know what I mean? You just gotta do it. Gotta force yourself. Analysis paralysis is a real thing, and if you have too many choices, it makes it a problem. So more often than not, when I'm looking at all the choices, I'll just kind of quickly pick one before I get too drawn into the amount of choice I have. That's Mac's pro tip for being able to pick things. Oh, wow. This is a beautifully laid out bank. Yeah, this is great. This could work as a beautiful, like, dwarven bank. Or like an upscale city. My only complaint is this entry door is not nearly as high scale as the whole bank. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. Something like that. Matter, we just need to look and see if there's like an all-around fancier single door. Something like this, maybe? It's a bank. Come on. So, a tome of a powerful wizard was there, and they got it, and looted a few thousand. Wow, I'm sure the weight getting out was insane, huh? Or did they have, like, a bag of holding or something planned out to help with the weight? Oh my gosh, that's actually hilarious, Dyson. That's pretty much on brand, though, if you think about it. Or they can't leave. One thing I like about sidewalkless entry buildings is that you can use this as a, like, the floor plan of any building on a map. So let's say you just put like a 3D model of you had a big full scale city, blah, and you put like a house on it or a structure that was like a beautiful, you know, mega structure building, and you could be like, this is the bank, and then when your players go to that on the map, you know, something like this or whatever, or this. I don't know, this isn't necessarily the right shape, but you get the idea. This would be on the other map, with maybe with a few things together with it, and at the end of the day, when they go to that, then you load this scene for them to show the inside, right? Oh my gosh, someday banks will, right? PayPal, you gotta pay before you can log in. Costs 25 cents per login. Or something like that. Banks will do it too. I'm sure they're already planning it. Once they saw that you could sell skins in video games, they were already like chomping at the bit to see what they could microtransact. Now you've got cars charging to like do heated seats and remote starting and like all this random stuff. Oh, reduce spell. Interesting take there. That's a good way to do it. That's an interesting. That's smart. I would have probably done like a weird thing, like, you know, put it in a pocket dimension, like a Liamon's chest, or like, you know, or Mordekainen's chest, I mean, or done like a bag of holding or something like that. But yeah, that's a good way to do it. Put it into a crate and reduce it. That's really smart. Absolutely love that. Brilliant. Brilliant! Tell your players that Mac approves of their brilliance. This tome, the wizard tome that the player got, I'm assuming it was encrypted in the wizard's like codex, right? So it wasn't like they could just read it. They had to decipher it and figure out what was what in it. This is a brilliant bank. This is just so ready for heists. Absolutely love it. And you got some cool, like, special items being held in here. There's actually a wizard being held in there. Oh no. Dyson, I am so sorry that you just destroyed your campaign. You literally gave it a time of death. I have heard so many stories of how a deck of many things can absolutely torpedo a campaign. It went bizarrely okay. They've only used it once though, right? So we'll see. How did it go? Let's hear this. Now they're on a quest to decipher it. Oh, so cool. So cool, Ava. You're a good DM. That's awesome. What kind of armor was it? But you can't tell us they got a deck of many things and then they used it and not tell us what is in it. Or what they pulled. Are you kidding me? 3 wishes? Wow. Wow. Now they just need to buy an item that has wish on it. Infinite wishes. Just kidding. If they didn't wish them out. So 1 wish is already gone, I'm guessing. That is hilarious. So the wish can't wish him out? But you made him work around it that he never wished it. Funny. Hilarious. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way. Okay, so wish by rules is written, right? Is like you get 25k gold, right? You can get like a permanent resistance or a temporary immunity, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then they can wish for something at the DM's discretion if it's outside of those things. There's like a few different things that are like listed rules as written that you can do. But if you go outside of that realm of possibility, then the DM can decide might not happen. Now, did the player roll on their wish? Did they have to do the chance to roll to like make wish less effective or something? Isn't there something for that? I swear. So all he knows is he didn't get to draw a card and he's mad about it in RP. Oh my goodness, David, you're hilarious. Wish to be as perfect as my dog thinks I am. I mean, that's a pretty good wish. Couldn't he just, like, tell him? Or, like, show him with a spell of some sort? They aren't very close. This only made it worse. Hilarious. That, wow. Do you remember when you stole my card from the deck of many things? Well, now I'm an evil madman. It's like villain arc starts from this. Do it. Do it. Do it. That would be great. Your group is collecting the cards of a deck of many things, huh? Interesting. So what? It doesn't work until they get all the cards or something? Oh no. Oh no! He's a warlock? No. They're like the number... They're one of the top 2 classes to be edgy and turn on their party. The other one is rogues. Pretty much those two are like, if you have one in your party, it's almost given they're going to turn on you at some point. Whether it's stealing from you or PvPing you. Right? You really can. Because the patron angle, right? I would say, Will, if they're not usable yet, like if they're not functional and if they haven't used them yet, you may want to say they have to collect a certain amount before they activate. You know what I mean? Or something. Think of them like Dragon Balls. You gotta have like enough of them to be able to make the wish. This map is beautiful. You need to get it, have him collect cans of olives. But he doesn't know why. Jars of olives. That's a deep, deep cut for Community. If you are a fan of Community, you will get that joke. You need to have them... He needs to collect a prosthetic leg as well. So you have a Guardians in the Galaxy joke in there as well. If you're gonna have him collect random things... A dwarf blacksmith. He's like, but I have all my customers here. My entire forge. Why would I leave my workshop? A beardless dwarf? Oh no! That is... So, basically, there's this character named Jeff in Community who's like the kind of hip, cool guy at this community college, which isn't saying much. And then there's the dean of the community college who is kind of like got a crush on Jeff, wants to be his friend, wants to hang out with him, and asked for Jeff's number, and Jeff just gave him a random number because he didn't want him texting him. And the random number ends up being some kid in Japan who just trolls the dean at all hours of the day, saying random things, getting him to talk to him. And he will say things like, "Hey, Dean, I really want you to bring me cans of olives, please. I need them." And he's like, "What? Okay, I guess." And he'll bring him olives. And then one time he's like, "I really need 5 cans of olives. It's an emergency." And he's like, "5 cans? The last time I brought you some, you were confused about it and you got angry." And he's like, "It's just my secret, bro. I like to be angry about olives sometimes." Like, so this kid is trolling him, who doesn't even know him, telling him to give him olives, and then the other guy has no idea what he's talking about, and it's his own fault for giving him a fake number to begin with. What patron does he have? Oh yeah, community is really good. Really good. Dyson, what kind of patron does he have? This map is beautiful, but I've looked at it way too much, so I'm already just going back and forth. So, Ava, how far have they gone on this deciphering quest? Have they gotten much, accomplished in it? Ooh, cool. Very cool. That's neat. I really like the warlock. I think it's an interesting caster class. Like, I really do enjoy them. I think my favorite warlock is the genie warlock. Well, aren't you nice, Dyson? Sorry, this is going to take a moment to download the 3D models from the workshop for this. That is one nice thing, though, about maps you find on the workshop. If the map requires 3D models from the workshop as well, it'll prompt you to download them, and you can pick and choose which ones you want. I would recommend downloading them all, though, because they have been optimized now, so you don't really need to be picky. You can have many more downloaded before, you notice any decrease in your productivity. Hey, see you later, Stratus. Yeah, I am streaming tomorrow. We'll be on at the same damn time, same damn channel. So, 12 p.m. tomorrow. In fact, it's the damn challenge stream, so if any of you are wanting to submit your map to the damn challenge, you have until 11:59 tonight. So depending on your time zone, you may be out of time, or you may still have a couple of hours if you want to submit a map. See you later, Stratus. The Damn Challenge, for those wondering, is an ongoing map-making contest we host here. We host on all of our variety of stream platforms, but we mainly host it on our Discord. It is a map-making contest where we pick a theme. The current theme is Ghost Town. You're encouraged to use that theme as an inspiration and make a map of any shape or size, then submit that map to the Damn Challenge channel in our Discord, where the map, if as long as you follow the rules pinned in that channel and it qualifies, your map is then featured in the Damn Challenge stream tomorrow. If it's the map that wins, it's the first map featured. The winner gets a $10 Hero Forge gift card, and their map is featured in our weekly newsletter, the Cartomancer Chronicles. Gives you a lot of eyes on your map, a lot of downloads, a lot of FaceTime. A good way to kind of show off and flex your map maker muscle against the community. Okay, so Ava, they are on mission 3 of the quest. Been to the Wizard's Tower, now heading to the Underdark Wizard's last known location. Spoilers, is the wizard dead, or are they going to find him alive? Because that would be a bummer after stealing the tome and finding him alive, and he's like, hey, that's mine, actually. I'd like that. Could you imagine? I play a lawful evil red wizard of the Fae in one campaign. My character treated the other characters in the party as his minions. His major flaw was he assumed he was the smartest person in the room, so he would talk really slowly to make sure you understood him. Oh my gosh. So did people think he was slow because he talked so slow? Needs more ghosts. Right? Riftward Quay needs to be haunted. If you're on the edge of the astral plane, you need to be haunted. How you doing, Wardian? Mr. Anderson. We missed you. That's really cool, Ava. I'm really excited for your players. That sounds fun. You should talk more like the sloth from the DMV and Zootopia or whatever. What? Can you understand me? This map is brilliant. I love this one. No, at the end of the campaign, he gave up the entire party to get power. He was made into a devil. Oh my. Thinking they should have seen that coming. Yeah, Bane, you know what? Every once in a while, I might, you know, throw out an evening stream. Hey, Ava, thank you so much for all the likes. I'm assuming it was you tossing those out. I really appreciate it. 3,000 likes is not an easy task. I'm sure that's a lot of tapping. They need the decryption key from that wizard. Bane, how have you been? What you been up to, my friend? Just woke up, don't know yet. Let me ask my magic bat. 8 balls, shake, shake, shake. Get a life, stop trying to get advice from a hunk of plastic. Mech Warrior 5? Nice. Tell me about your mech. Does it have metal legs and guns? Maybe some rocket launchers? You have a jetpack? I know nothing about mechs. The last mech game I played was like Titanfall, I think. Oh no! What the heck? I'd be like, what the heck? Don't you know I'm supposed to get to kill everyone, not you guys? Yeah, you know what I like doing with this map? Let's make it a little otherworldly. Add a little light filter there. And oh my goodness. Chef's kiss. Just looks stunning with that purple light filter there. It's violet. Hey, as long, I mean, every time you die, you get a new one, right, Bane? So that's a win. Titanfall was pretty cool, actually. It was a neat concept. Jeez, Will. Your character, does not hold back, it sounds like. So how would you use this map in your campaigns? Do any of you have like a campaign that has the Astral Sea or airships or arcane ships? Hey, see you later, Ava. Thank you for hanging out. It was fun chatting. It was also nice to learn about your campaign and appreciate all the likes. You have a wonderful evening. So it's called Riftward Quay. If you want to take a look at it, it is on the workshop. It is a stunning build for sure. I just like that it seems like a map on the edge of nowhere. Like water just falls into space here. It doesn't seem like a very sustainable ecosystem, but I'm all for it. It looks cool. It just looks awesome. Well, technically, I wouldn't even consider them nearby. That would be like perspective. They're like way far. You know what I mean? Like, psh. You even got like a black hole or something going on there, like an accretion disk. Yeah, nearby enough that they're just small dot, not small dots. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's a beautiful map, though. And if you take a close look, a lot of it has decoration, like inside of the rooms and stuff. There's like, in some of the spaces, there's like little decorations. And, just see a little bit of life in some of the rooms. Because the creator just went the extra mile with this. These tables. Oh, it's a great map. What type of map should I open up next? We'll try and pull up something themed. Like a style or maybe a setting. Throw out some suggestions and I'll pick one from it. I actually have a map I could pull up. It's Fairy Forest. That's a good suggestion. Maybe Enchanted Forest is something we could look up and see, But we could try Fairy Forest. Fairy Forest. Fairy Fire Forest. Magic Fairy Forest. Fairy Holiday. Some forest stuff. Let's try Enchanted. Ooh. Yeah, we got a lot more options there. But both had a good amount of stuff. Let's try Fairy. Fairy Circle, Fairy Party, Fairy Holiday. Let's try this Fairy Glen, or maybe Uncorrupted Fairy Ring looks cool. No, let's do the Fairy Glen. That looks neat. Why not? We'll check it out. Ooh, I like it. Little lights hidden under all the mushrooms. It's nothing massive or anything. It's just a pretty little map. Actually looks really good. I like it a lot. So, Bane, are you a big fan of the Mech Warrior kind of franchise? You've been playing it a while. That's a really pretty little setting there. You could put a little token. Little fairy. Since the 90s? Dang. So I remember playing a Mech Warrior game in the 90s, and I feel like it was like the animation style was like cartoons almost, it felt like. And I remember my dad had it on his computer, and like they give you a little budget to set up your mech, and then you go explore like the wasteland to do stuff, right? And I remember playing it, but I was not that good. Never was really that great. But that's really cool that you've been playing it since the 90s. I just recall that like one of the 4 or 5 computer games my dad had on his computer, that was one of them. Hey, Primal Edge Designs, happy Friday to you. And happy mapping to everyone. Hope you have a happy damn Friday. That looks cool. I got a map I want to show you all that is just something to behold. So, Bane, I gotta ask, so since you've been playing the series since the 90s, does that mean you're like epic at it because you played it a lot? Primal, what are you up to today? Got anything going on this weekend, my friend? Y'all want to see a city? This thing is crazy. Like a full walled city with a port and a castle. Like, this thing is crazy. Guard towers. An absolutely astonishing map. Will, you got any fun plans now that the weather's cooling off? Gonna enjoy it a little bit before it gets freezing? Is this a published map? Yeah, Michael, it is. It is on the workshop. It's called Port City with a Castle. So if you go to Browse Maps and just search Port City, it is right there. It's a big map, 70 by 90, so keep that in mind. But it is available on the workshop. Oh man, so it's late for you, huh, Primal? Last night, like this morning, I had to turn on my heater for the first time this season because, like, we had the air conditioner on when we went to bed, and when we woke up, our house was freezing over. It was like ice inside, it felt like. I was like, what the heck is going on? What the heck's going on over there? Oh my goodness. Just a beautiful little city set up. Hey, Michael, I did answer you. I don't know if you saw. I saw you bounced out and back in, but this is on the workshop. It's called Port City with Castle. You can find it if you go to Browse Maps and type Port City. It's this one right here. It's rather large, though, so just keep that in mind. 70 by 90. That one's, oh my, that one's huge. You know what? Let's full send this. Let's check this one out. After this map downloads, this will be the last map of the stream. And we're going to wrap up for today. As this was a bonus stream, I didn't plan to stay on too long. I would like to say, though, if you enjoyed today's streams, or stream and you want to make sure you catch more in the future, make sure you hit that follow button, like, subscribe, whatever it is on your platform. That way you can find us in the future. Additionally, oh, hey, John Doom over here. Is that any relation to John Halo? I gotta know. Okay, so John Doom, I recall reading something about more modern and sci-fi assets eventually coming. The DA, has this happened yet? So let me explain that to you top to bottom. Are you still there, John? I want to make sure you hear this. Uh-oh. This map loading? Those particular buildings are just facades. They're just object buildings. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss you. So, John, stock, there are no sci-fi assets or modern assets yet. Those will be added after we leave early access and have delivered on all our Kickstarter stretch goals. We have 5 stretch goals left, stretch goal updates. Basically, every one of our major updates so far has been a stretch goal from our Kickstarter campaign, which is how we got our start. we have promised to deliver on all those stretch goals before we leave early access. And then once we leave early access, we have stated that we will offer optional expansions that would essentially give you a whole new aesthetic that plugs into the Dungeon Alchemist tool set. So instead of fantasy, it would say, let's say, cyberpunk or sci-fi. And those assets, it would come with, say, several thousand assets, a few dozen room types, and probably a dozen to 20 environmental biomes, all that work within Dungeon Alchemist's, procedural AI and, tools. Now, that being said, people can do sci-fi, cyberpunk, modern maps now. It's very possible. People do it all the time. And it's done so by utilizing two different tools that we've incorporated in Dungeon Alchemist. One is the Asset Importer. The Asset Importer allows you to import 3D models into Dungeon Alchemist for personal use or to share them on the Steam Workshop. And by that, I mean you can pretty much import any 3D file as long as it's an STL, FBX, or GLTF/GLB file. That means pretty much sky's the limit with 3D models, and you can do like animated models or full color 3D models or just flat gray like STL models. And then those can be imported and shared on the workshop. On the workshop, there's over 6,200 3D models, which has led to a kind of the floodgates opening to sci-fi and cyberpunk and apocalypse and all sorts of stuff. So just to give you an example, like right here is an apocalypse one. Here's a cyberpunk one. You don't have to scroll far to see it. Here's a starship deck that's like a 40K theme instead of like it's like a fantasy sci-fi. There are all sorts of stuff, though. You can really dive in and make all sorts of things now. But I will say that it's not as straightforward or as simple as Dungeon Alchemist can make it, because you got to do most of that by hand. You got to place the objects meticulously and design, those things yourself or incorporate assets from the workshop. But here, like, this is a brilliant little landing deck with a ship on it. I mean, it's totally possible to do this stuff now. It just takes a little bit of effort. You got to roll up your sleeves and put some elbow grease on it. You know what I mean? That being said, in the future, we plan to incorporate, optional expansions where you could say pay a nominal fee and get a whole new aesthetic, something above and beyond anything we ever promised in our Kickstarter. But it would allow you to use the ease of Dungeon Alchemist, the procedural generation for rooms and environments, all the tools to place objects easier, more streamlined. You're saying a lot of big file types that I don't understand, so I'm going to take it as disrespect. So essentially, 3D file types, there's a lot of different ones. STL, for instance, is the most common. It's used in 3D printing. STL files are, like, you can find them on hundreds of websites online and very easily, just incorporate them into your builds. This one here, this snail shell, my wife actually made this, and I imported it as an STL type file. Think of like JPEG, PNG, MP4. They're file extensions for video or images. STL, FBX, GLTF, they're file extensions for 3D files. Now, if you don't know how to, make them, there is tutorials and stuff online to make them, but if you don't want to do that, you can always source them from websites that offer them for free or offer like a Creative Commons license where you can share the asset as long as you properly credit the original creator. Additionally, as I said, other people are sharing 3D models on the Steam Workshop, so you don't need to look for them yourself. You could just rely on other people to do so. So Creative Cauldron, back to your question. The buildings in that city that we were showing prior, when you asked, those were all just objects. They are a facade. That being said, if your players wanted to enter one, or you had specific buildings that were points of interest that you wanted them to enter, you could have a map of that building as a separate map, just of the inside of that building on a dark parchment. That way they could be inside of it and have it loaded as a separate scene on something like Foundry. An OBJ file would have to be converted. We don't have compatibility with OBJ at the moment. I asked them to add it when they added the importer, and they tried to get it, but it was really buggy, and they opted to just keep the 3 that they had. John, do you have any other questions for me? I want to make sure I address your concerns. Oh man, this map is big. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to change the quality to low so I can squeeze out some more frames, because it is just a massive map. This thing is like 200 by something. Let's go see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this thing is huge. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so I can... There we go, found the corner. 208 by 153. That is insane. Holy cow. That's a big map, and even my computer's struggling with it. But I mean, exporting this as an image, I would probably want to do this as a print, like a big mat, or maybe if I did it on a VTT, I would definitely export at 72 DPI, because otherwise it'd probably be too big for most VTTs. VTTs have file size limits, resolution limits, so you got to kind of adhere to that. Like right now, it's saying I would be within Foundry's limit with this image as long as I did it at 72. If I went up to 150, I'd probably... Oh, I could do it at 150. Let's try very high. Wow, I'm not getting any no's? That is crazy. Oh, it might be because I'm in the... Yep, okay. I wasn't in image, I was in WebM. Let's go down to normal borders or no borders. Borders. Trying to make this thing as small as possible. And then we'll lower the DPI. See if we can squeeze in with 150. Still too big. Okay, so 72 DPI would fit on Foundry. Wow. Dungeon Alchemist is just fine with you making and using your maps for commercial use, or in a module like a campaign book or a campaign module on like DM's Guild or whatever, like any of those websites where you can, yeah, you can sell that. Or if you had a Patreon, or a, you know, if you did commission work to make maps or map packs for DMs or anything like that, we have no problem with it. In fact, we're very open to it. Let me see if I can find our terms of use. Article 4.1 of our TOS, which is on our website. You could see this clear as day if you want to find it. I don't know if I can share a link with you on Steam, but I'll drop it here just in case to see. You might be able to use that, but you might not. But Article 4.1 says the user acknowledges unless otherwise... anyway, if you get into the meat of it, basically, it says, if you use for commercial purposes, the current license cannot no longer be used if your annual turnover of more than 100,000 US dollars. So basically, in English, it means you don't even need to worry about acquiring a commercial license until you pass an annual turnover of 100,000 USD with a product that includes Dungeon Alchemist in it. So let's say you made a campaign book, or you did like a big fundraiser type thing, a Kickstarter for a campaign module, and you made, you know, $250,000. You would need a commercial license if you had Dungeon Alchemist maps in there. Does that make sense? Otherwise, though, up until that point, no problem at all. And we've not had anyone hit that yet. So, not to discourage you. In fact, if someone does hit that, I'll gladly ship them a bottle of champagne as a congratulatory, like, awesome, like, you know, like, I would be super proud of whoever did that. I would be so hyped for them. As we're kind of new in an indie company and we're still in early access, there's not many people who have been making and selling maps in our community long. It's like 2 years max, so they don't necessarily have the notoriety of some of the big map sellers out there yet. But at least you don't have a worry for now, and if you do ever, somehow if you get to that point, you at least know there is an option. Yeah, our terms of use are very, very open, kind of liberal, if you will, because we understand that everyone in our community is a creator. First off, you're all DMs, you're all content creators in a way. And whether it's, just for your table, or you're making it for a campaign module to sell online, or include in a foundry somewhere, or in a book, or maybe you're making maps on a Patreon, or you know what I mean? You're streaming, your campaign with Dungeon Alchemist maps in it, or making YouTube videos. All of those things are content creation. Every bit of it is, and we support it. We understand that it is tough to get started as a small business and a content creator, and we don't want to try and stifle you in that. We as an indie company, there's 10 people in our business, including me, and 4 or 5 of them are artists. We have a big passion for art and for artists, and we understand, content creation, and that, we want you to be able to use our product without stressing about it, and be able to use it, and for all your needs. Anyway, John, I hope I didn't go overboard explaining that to you. But others were also kind of chiming in that they thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, our TOS are very, very cool. Kind of want to just export this map and see how long it takes. I'm going to do it on the desktop and see how big it is. Just the image. I didn't do an animated one. I feel like that'd be crazy for any VTT. Honestly, yeah, that's the thing. I'd rather be way more clear too. We'd rather under promise, over deliver, and we definitely don't want to mince, words, or make you feel like we've tried to tell you something that isn't the case. I am always trying to be above board on our streams and make sure everyone understands what they're looking at, what they're getting into. By the way, John, we have a demo of Dungeon Alchemist if you want to try it, if you don't already own a copy. It's free to download, and it's like 6.7 gigs or something like that, very modest in size. And it's like a small slice of the overall pie. It's just one of 12 biomes. So it's the forest biome. And then additionally, you can create a tavern, little pub, and play around with a few objects, few of the tools, get a feel for it. That being said, our full product is on sale right now. It's 20% off. It's on sale for the Belgian Game Awards. We were nominated. Didn't win, but we're nominated, and it was just an honor to be nominated. And it's a really great deal. 20% off is like the best price you can get on Dungeon Alchemist. Additionally, I would just like to point out, if you have any more questions, concerns, anything, suggestions, feedback, remember the stream's AMA format, which means ask me anything Dungeon Alchemist related, and I will do my best to answer it. This is a beautiful little city. They literally made every house navigable, so you could really get in there. For the most part, a lot of them are, other than some of these little cottage types on the side, which I could understand not making every single house navigable. That'd be insane. Check out the docks. Nice, Cauldron. Should definitely check it out. It's fun. Would y'all like to see some teasers from our next update? You know what? I'll just show you anyway. So we have 2 biomes that are sand. There's one that's Badlands and one that's desert. The desert one has sweeping dunes and oasis type stuff, and then the other one has like mesas and like sandstone and stuff like that. I've actually seen some really good Egyptian themed maps made and shared on our Steam workshop. If you'd like to take a look, in just a moment I can pull one up for you. We have Steam Workshop integration with Dungeon Alchemist, and how that works is users in our community can share maps, but they can also share 3D models. So we have an asset importer where you can import custom models to add a little bit of flair to your map or dip into aesthetics that we currently don't offer or themes that aren't available. So right now we're primarily fantasy, and it dips a little bit into like a little bit of steampunk, a little bit of early Western. You could definitely do some like Victorian kind of stuff with it, but it's primarily fantasy aesthetic, which was what was promised from our Kickstarter. Until we leave our Kickstarter, we'll stay, or until we leave our, not leave our Kickstarter, we're done with our Kickstarter. Until we leave early access, which is our next 5 updates that are on our roadmap from our Kickstarter stretch goals, they will stay in fantasy aesthetic. But users in our community have shared assets on the workshop. There's over 6,000 assets. And some of them, a good chunk of them, are sci-fi or cyberpunk, leading into other aesthetics that allow you to do other things. Egyptian, etc. Deadlands, yes. Western. Honestly, it's actually very easy to do Western in DA right now because we have some like wooden structures, adobe structures, we have wagons, wells, a few different water towers, things like that fit that aesthetic really well. And you don't need much for an old Western town, just the right theme and, foliage and, environment, right? So, unfortunately, Dungeon Alchemist doesn't allow 3D export, only 3D import. We don't have any plans to allow you to export your maps as 3D models. But the models you download from the Steam Workshop, they are placed somewhere in your Steam directory as a 3D file that you can download, but they're not tagged as their name. They're given like a number tag, which is how Steam does everything. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to just kind of like find. You have to browse through them, but they are on your computer until you unsubscribe from them. So technically, the files you sub to from the workshop, yes, definitely. Let me see if I can find that Egyptian one that I saw earlier today. Yeah, this Arcane here, Egypt Port City, or an Egyptian temple, either or. Let's check this one out. This one's insane good. Unfortunately, we don't really have plans to offer 3D model export for several reasons. Dungeon Alchemist wasn't designed with that in mind. Our 3D models, the majority of them are like smoke and mirrors. They're really simple shapes. Think like squares, rectangles, cylinders, with superimposed wallpaper on them, that's called texture mapping. And the texture mapping has no detail or depth of field to it. It's just really detailed images that make the object look like it has grooves and ridges and, all sorts of different depth that isn't there. And detail that really isn't there. So if we offered an export of our 3D models, they would be very bland, simple shapes with no color, no painting, no detail. There would be no animation, no lighting, no water, nothing. And so it wouldn't be fun to print, first off. Even like homes and other things, nothing would really come out. The objects from the workshop, some of them may, because they have like more meshes and detail to them, so they might actually have that. But it's not going to be the case with our assets from the workshop. Secondly, the devs don't really feel like unloading and releasing all of their art to the free market, where anyone can just take the assets and reuse them how they see fit. Dungeon Alchemist is an enclosed ecosystem where you build, using our assets and our tools. That's another reason. I know people would like to 3D print the maps, or even little battle maps, or little areas, or possibly export so you could use it on like a 3D VTT, such as like what is that? Tabletop simulator or something akin to that, right? The last reason people want is because they want to use it for game development. Again, we don't want to release our 3D models out in that way and allow people to use them for game development, at least yet. I don't know. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Dungeon Alchemist, though, is a lot of smoke and mirrors, and that is what allows it to save a lot of file space. Dungeon Alchemist is only 6.7 gigs as a full install, and our average map is only like 5 to 10 megabytes, even with all the 3D models and light and shadows. It's because Dungeon Alchemist is a real-time 3D render engine that renders that map and tells it where all the data is. The map is just a text file, technically. Our proprietary map format, .dam, is just a text file. It's like a JSON. It's just full of, like, data that tells where every object is supposed to be on the map and what type of map it's supposed to be, so you can open it up in DA. It's weird, I know. This map is taking forever to load, sorry. It's big, so it will take a while. But, it's worth it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. John Doom, I hope you're still there, because this was for you. This is just absolutely stunning. We also do have some assets. We had a whole update that was called Fata Morgana that we released like 2 years ago, almost. Maybe a year and a half ago. And the Fata Morgana update was desert themed. So there's like adobe structures. There's a few assets that are themed based on like real world like things. Like the Ozbod, these like windmills that are like desert windmills. I don't know if y'all have ever seen these before, but these are a real thing. They exist, and they're like a desert windmill, and some of them have been running and in use perpetually for like almost 1,000 years. So it's called an Ozbod. And then the other thing, Yakchal. Can't remember what it's called. That's what it is. I was spelling it wrong. Something you don't spell every day, you might forget. But it's like a water kind of thing. A big water storage facility. And you can remove the roof, and it's like basically designed to keep the water or even goods cool. Anyway. There's even some room types that are like desert themed. There's some tents. Little things like that. You know what I mean? Yes, you can. Creative Cauldron on YouTube asks, Hero Forge is connectable to access your assets from there, though, correct? Yes, you can link your Hero Forge account, right? And once you link your Hero Forge account, any of the tokens you've gotten as like part of the packs with the monthly, if you have a pro membership that gets the monthly pack every month, or if you purchase tokens as 3D digital to export to any other VTTs, like Tailspire, for instance, it will work in Dungeon Alchemist as well. So essentially, any tokens you've made by hand or gotten as part of packs, you can purchase and import. So as an example, like I've actually imported a few that I've made. This one here was an artificer I played in a campaign, a changeling artificer I was in a campaign some time ago. Here is my wife was a Harangan cleric, Twilight cleric. Anyway, so you can import your tokens, and you can actually walk around in your token in first person. Hey, no worries, John. So you're saying you're going to pick it up today? Well, welcome to the community. And if you have any more questions, feel free to jump in the streams. Or if you're wanting to get any assistance, we have a Discord that you can hop into. We have support channels there. And we also offer a wiki that you could check out. But just a reminder, for everyone watching, we're on sale for 20% off through the 23rd. And we have a free demo if you want to try before you buy, just to see how it works on your system. Kind of going back to Hero Forge, how you can link your account. We also have a partnership with Bite the Bullet Studios. They'll be making tokens with each of our updates going forward that are themed to the update, and they'll be free with each update going forward. So you get like 20 or 30 tokens extra. You can also import tokens using the asset importer, or you download tokens from the asset browser. You can actually sort by tokens, and there's like almost 500-600 tokens available to choose from currently, and it's expanding every day, more and more each day. Pretty cool. Anyway, I think I need to wrap up the stream because it's going to be dinner time soon. So if any of y'all have any last minute questions, now's the time to let me know. Steam, if you have any questions before I wrap up, you can hit the show chat button and join in on the chat there. It's just below your view of the stream in the right side there. Alternatively, if any of you in the other streams watching have any chat questions, last minute questions before we wrap up the stream, this little bonus stream to kind of celebrate our nomination with the Belgian Game Awards and the 20% off sale, let me know and I will address them. But I'm thinking we're going to probably wrap up in the next two minutes or so. Stunning. There's another like kind of Egyptian themed map on the workshop. It's absolutely breathtaking as well. But anyway. Oh. I'll give you all a moment to put your questions through, but it looks like there's probably not going to be any more questions before we wrap up today. Let's do this like red. Ooh. Purple. Ooh. Love it. Looks good. Yeah. Cauldron, I'll message you later, by the way. I didn't get a chance to message you back today. I had a lot going on the home front. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is an amazing tool that allows you to build maps in a snap or roll up your sleeves and build the maps of your dreams down to the last detail. It really excels in the fantasy aesthetic, but because we've empowered our community to import assets from really any theme they want using our asset importer and sharing them using the Steam Workshop, there is a ton of assets that allow you to really make whatever you want. We love empowering our community to do what they wish with Dungeon Alchemist, and that's how we did that for now. In the future, we do plan to add our own kind of themed assets to those aesthetics, but it would be after we leave early access and have delivered on all of our promises, you know, the Kickstarter promises, which there's 5 major updates left. Let's show some teasers from the update until we wrap up. Our next update, Fun with Objects, will have multi-level building. This is a kind of an alpha work in project clip, so it's a little buggy, but you kind of get the idea. You'll be able to make multiple levels and switch between them with relative ease. And the hope is to allow you to export each level as kind of like a layer or a slice, that each level can be exported as a separate file or a separate print. So you could then put them on your virtual tabletop or as a scene, or print them out as like individual slices that you lay on top of each other like pages that you just reveal when they're in the different layers. Anyway, this is actually a very cool new feature that is kind of the highlight of our next update. Will be multi-level and roofing ceilings, separating ambient and indoor and outdoor lighting for the first time. Um, kind of going with this will be the ability to do like decks and indoor patios inside of the buildings. So you'll be able to, maybe put like a little banister and see the bottom floor below of like a tavern where there's rooms up on the top floor, but, the tavern below has a bunch of, chairs and the saloon kind of bar area. This is also work in progress alpha footage, kind of just showing what we're working on behind the scenes and what's coming up. So this is not available yet. Multi-level with this level of ease is not available yet. You would have to, if you want to do multi-level, it's possible. You just have to do it by hand. Kind of like akin to Lego or blocks. You would stack everything up on the next level to make another, layer. But when the next update comes out, it'll be really just a few clicks and you drag and generate a new room above and then kind of shape it and design it how you wish. I.e. make, decking, little holes in between, whatever. Okay, let's move on to another clip really quick that I think is very cool, showing ceilings. So, in this clip, you can see that there is a ceiling. This is also work in progress, alpha footage, but we plan to offer, a bunch of different ceiling types. I think at first everything will kind of just be a flat ceiling, and with time we'll do, vaulted and dome ceilings. But the first iteration will likely just be flat ceilings. Ceilings will be great because it'll allow you to block out the outdoor lighting and also kind of offer a much more immersive walkthrough experience in first person or cinematic cameras for the first time ever. Let's see what else we got in here. This here is a clip showing a feature in the next update that'll be added called the custom object brush. So we have the object brush already that allows you to paint groups of objects really quickly, saving you a lot of time, but there's only so many paint brushes available for certain objects, ones we've deemed the most likely needed. But in the next update, you'll be able to create a brush out of any object by just selecting it and then clicking create brush from selected object. So that means you could take an object from the workshop, turn it into a brush. So an object you downloaded and you want to paint it out really quickly, you can do so. Or maybe it's an object we haven't, made a brush for, you can do that as well. Hoping this will save a lot of time for, our user base in the future. A lot of people want this. I'm hoping they expand it from more than just a single object. Maybe you could pick, 3 or 4 and or up to 5 and make a palette of objects that all kind of spray out and paint at random. Something like that. But we'll see. Maybe this first iteration will be simple and it'll get more complicated with time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I had a lot of fun sharing these teasers from the next update, answering your questions regarding Dungeon Alchemist, and just letting you know about our nomination with the Belgian Game Awards and the sale for 20% off. Again, my name is Mac, the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Had a lot of fun hanging out with you all. Oh no, Turbo, you're getting here right as I'm taking off. I'm so sorry. But I do appreciate you being here and hanging out, even right at the end. But thank you, everyone, for being here and being a part of this random bonus PM stream. Remember, if you are interested in checking out Dungeon Alchemist, there's a free demo on Steam. It gives you kind of a little slice of the pie. You can play in one of our 12 biomes, the forest biome, and build a tavern, which is one of the many room types we have available. Other than that, Dungeon Alchemist is 20% off through the 23rd. So if you are sitting on the fence and looking for a good deal on it, now's the time to pull the trigger. It's the best deal you can get on it. Or if you have a friend or family member that, was looking to get it, or a DM you love that you want to gift it to, great time to gift it to them. Or if, holidays are just around the corner, you maybe can grab a gift code and get it, sent over to a friend or family member. I am so excited about the nomination too. Unfortunately, we did not win. We found out today, but it was still amazing to be nominated. Just a great honor. And to be fair, the nomination also allowed us to have this amazing sale. We got invited to the sale as a result of it. I guess so. All right, see you later, John Doom. Have a good one. Turbo, I know, I'm so sorry that you popped in right as I was leaving, but I do appreciate you being here. We had a good turnout from YouTube today. Thank you, YouTube, for the support. Appreciate it. Also, over on TikTok, we had over 3,000 likes tonight. Crazy amount of support tonight for a random, unplanned stream that's not scheduled, that's just for fun, to provide support and answer questions, you know, for those that are just hanging out or need guidance with their map making or maybe sitting on the fence about buying. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. Again, my name is Mac, the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. I'll be back tomorrow at noon Pacific time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern. Believe that's 8 p.m. GMT. Maybe 9 p.m. I think they just had daylight savings. I'm not 100% certain. But the stream tomorrow is the Dam Challenge. What that means is we're showing off maps from a bi-weekly map making contest we host where users in our community are given a theme and they use that theme as inspiration and make a map of any shape or size. The current theme is Ghost Town. There's a bunch of really cool entries. We'll be showcasing those entries. The first entry we show will be the winner. The winner gets a $10 Hero Forge gift card. Their map is the first map featured. And they're also showcased in our weekly newsletter, the Cartomancer Chronicles, giving them a little bit of notoriety and FaceTime with the community. Anyway, it's a great way to kind of flex your map maker muscle and show off your skills with the community. But it is kind of late to enter. There's only a couple hours left. Depending on your time zone, it may already be too late. You have till 11:59 to enter. So if it's a little too late to rush out a map tonight, unless you have one already that is a ghost town, but make sure you tune in tomorrow when we pick a new theme so you have a fresh 2 weeks to enter the next contest. Oh, the new update's going to be fantastic with multi-level ceilings, separate ambient indoor and outdoor lighting. A whole bunch of stuff is coming on in the next update, plus tons of new tools and object features and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. We'll see you next time. I give a damn. Mac out. Bye. Bye. Thank you. In fact, here, let's do a little ad break and then we'll wrap it up. This is our new
But can it handle curves?
From our partner.
But can it handle curves?
Ooh,
But can it handle curves?
But can it handle curves?
Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map-making application for role-playing games, now comes with both round and diagonal walls. Create amazing professional maps for your players in seconds. Get it now on the Steam store.
But can it handle
contracted them
curves?
to help us build this
But can it
commercial
handle
when we released our
curves?
round
But
rooms.
can it handle curves?
But can it handle
Anyway.
curves?
Dungeon Alchemist, the
Of course,
AI-powered
round rooms are
map-making
available
application
now.
for
Very
role-playing
easy to do.
games, now
Diagonal
comes
rooms
with
as
both
well.
round and
Rotate
diagonal
move rooms
walls.
before you generate
Create
them. You got
amazing
all sorts
professional
of
maps for your players
functionality that
in
you didn't have
seconds.
just 6 months
Get it
ago.
now on the
Thank
Steam
you so
store.
much, everyone, for being
But
here. Well, if
can
you
it
love their
handle
stuff, you might like our
curves?
other ad.
But can
You stand before the long
We've done
dark
2 ads
road
with
to the
them.
fabled
Great
realm
people
of
over at
Goliath
Deerstalker
Tower
One
and
for
the
All.
Fortress.
Hilarious.
I don't know.
I actually wrote this ad.
But before she does, I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to know the goblin's name.
Hi, my name is Woblin.
Where do you live there, Woblin?
I don't think that's relevant.
Well, but I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to seek the goblin's abode.
Clever, find family, kill entire bloodline. I like it.
Seriously, we're doing this? Okay, well, won't be needing that anymore, will I?
Ever get caught by your players with your pants down? Dungeon Alchemist lets you create wonderful maps for any encounter in seconds.
Oh, Woblin, that's a very impressive cheese collection you've got there.
Yeah, it is quite impressive, yes. But you know what's more impressive? This map I have to the
Fabled realm of Goliath Tower. Please take it and leave. Close the door behind you.
Mr. Woblin, I cannot help but notice that you have a secret tunnel underneath your cabinet. Care to explain?
Download Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map maker, on Steam today.
All right. That was our first ad we ever did with them, and I'm so glad we did it because we just created this amazing business relationship with them. And pretty much anytime we need a new ad, we can reach out to them, and they're willing to work with us. They're great. They're a really funny, talented group of people. I love their skits. Anyway, it was an honor to work with them and make those ads. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. We'll see you later. Mac out.